It's the consistency that we put in to the work and the effort that we put in and doing that regularly and consistently. That's what pays off down the road. All right. Was everybody able to watch Brokerpreneur last week? I don't know that we sent it out, did we? Did anybody get a text with the Brokerpreneur, or did anybody get on it last week?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah. Well, Lisa was off. I mean, kind of a weird time right now just because we had vacations. We're all kind of cycling through and everything else. So anyway, I don't know that it got out, but anyway, I encourage you to go back and walk it. I'll make sure a link gets put out here in the next couple of days. Uh, there was no exact topic. He had a panel of successful listing agents on there. And so I encourage you to go back and watch it. And again, I'll send the link out so that you'll have it. And then I believe he's got another panel coming this Thursday. But one thing they went over was, what are you doing in this market? It's a shifting market, obviously, and it's been shifting for the last year and a half, 2 years. I mean, you think of everything that we went through last year and how it's already changed this year, and what's it going to do next year is anybody's guess and prediction. Uh, what are you doing to maintain yourself and maintain your presence in front of people as agents? What are you doing to do that? They talked about social media and things like that. And one question they asked, which I thought was interesting, was when's the last time you did a video walkthrough and posted it on social media? We have quite a few, I don't, probably over 15, 20 listings in our office alone, that probably over half those agents would not mind if you went out there and did a video walkthrough of that property, whether you're doing an open house for it or whether you're just doing a showing, and then got it out there. Why are we not putting weekly and featuring weekly listings like that to show that we're still in the business? So that, those are things that we can do that are free, and do we do them? So my question to you, and what I want to hear from you, is we saw last year's market. So what are you doing this year? What's changed in your strategy to put yourself in front of people? I know the Mayfields, you guys are putting out a newsletter pretty regularly now. You weren't doing that last year, I don't believe, were you? So what is there anything else you've done, or Steve? You're an experienced agent. Marla, you're experienced. What have you guys done different from last year to this year with the change in the market?
For myself, I've done more videos, especially open house videos. I've done more of them, and I've just stayed on top of following up with people, and that's for the last year or two, and it's paid off this year.
Yes, 60%. And I heard Bat says, if you'll work 60% of your CRM, you'll double your business. And
And,
and
and to
and,
be
and
honest,
you proved it to yourself. When
I
you're
have. I have. I'm actually one of my listings just went under contract this weekend, and I've actually, I'm not bragging or nothing like that, but I've actually closed more this first 5 months than I did all last year.
no, that's
I've been very great. I mean, very blessed on that.
yes, no, and that's reflection of your work from last year. So think about this: what we do today, and there quite a few times I've had agents come to me and say, I just need leads. No, you need closings, and you get closings by creating conversations. You create conversations because you put out content that's meaningful, or you've sent meaningful items and made meaningful conversations through your CRM. So it's the work that you did, Steve, it's the work that you did last year that's paying off this year.
Yeah, I completely agree with you 100%. Because to be honest with you, I was kind of struggling last year to just get some closings.
Yeah, I think I believe you talked to me about getting another job, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to for a little while.
Yeah. So, well, now, and let me ask you, do you think the year before that, if you would have worked like you did last year, do you think you'd have been okay in 22 or 23?
It was kind of a mixture of just weird situations on a lot of things.
Hmm.
But I think the years before I was relying more on leads. And last year I was relying on more just really just trying to follow up with people and make leads myself. So I was waiting on internet leads.
Yes. So yeah,
And
internet leads are
personally, I
cold. They're
think,
hard, but
and personally, I think the longer you're in it, the more people realize what you're doing, and they'll think of you more as well.
yes, yes. So, and that's speaking to things like the newsletter that you guys are doing in Mayfield. That's a long-term play. That's not going to, I mean, it could, but it's not necessarily going to generate something for tomorrow. It's going to generate something for 6 months from now to a year from now. It's the consistency that we put in to the work and the effort that we put in doing that regularly and consistently. That's what pays off down the road. I see people start out and say, okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. They start out and they'll do fine for a few months and then they don't see any results. So they quit. But it takes longer than that. It's just like your CRM. We've seen that and you've proven to yourself over and over again. Steve and Angela and CJ, I've heard them talk about those deals that were in their CRM for years, but the consistency of touching those people with with the emails and with properties that come on the market and stuff, that's what converted them 2 3 years later. And it's the same thing with your newsletter. It's going to be the same thing with sending them those market updates. uh we got to do that consistently, but we got to do it consistently, whether it's on Facebook and doing our social media and our Instagrams, or whether whether we're farming a neighborhood. Farming doesn't just happen over. You got to be in that neighborhood and be consistent in that for quite a while. But I'm curious, Mayfields, have you guys seen much from your newsletter yet? You've been doing how many months have you been doing your newsletter now?
We started March this year.
Okay,
Conversations happened. We've gotten more interaction
good.
and response from them.
Good. How many each newsletter? How many conversations do you think that creates?
3 to 5.
Okay, good. And are you just sending that to your database?
Uh, so the CRM, we posted on Facebook, and then I just have, sorry, have it for printables. That way we can hand it out or pass it out for somebody that we might not have direct contact or emails for.
Good. So the conversations is everything. We talked about that, and I know Angie can speak to that. Is if you're taking Buffini, you've heard about the mayor campaign and creating that conversation. It's creating that conversation, and I've heard it. You create 10 conversations, you'll get one deal. Uh, so so it's having those meaningful conversations, and how do we take just a regular meetup and get it to, hey, this is what I do for a living. This is what I help people do these things, and create that conversation about real estate. Angie's got a buyer client, and I think you got him under contract, don't you, Angie?
Yeah, I got her under contract and we're through inspection period. So,
Good.
woohoo.
And you created that conversation how?
Um, so she was a client, a new client that came to me at my salon, and like you said, I always try to, implement my real estate side of my career into, everybody that I meet there as well. And so that's kind of how that started. And we got to talking about it, and she just expressed how she was like trying to buy last year, didn't have very good success with her agent. And then it just kind of went from there, and we started looking at homes.
There you go. So conversations create clients. So anybody else got a story about a conversation that turned into a client? All right. I will tell you, I've probably, it's and the way Buffini teaches, and I kind of was doing even before I knew Brian Buffini, was, when you're in that conversation with somebody, you make it all about them in the beginning. You ask them what they do for a living and all that, because that naturally brings it back to, well, what do you do for a living? And that's when you can start sharing what you do for a living, and you see where that goes. And if there's somebody that's interested, even if they're not interested, remember, we can always ask, hey, would you refer, could I get your information, and then you could refer me if needed. So you always can create, it doesn't matter whether they're buying or selling. We can always create, ask that for that referral. We can always create a relationship. We can always send them, uh, send them helpful information about their house. If they own a house, they want to know their market. We talk about that numerous times. So I think it's great, and I think we've seen examples here today of those things. David, I'm curious with you. You've been successful here lately. You've done really well. Where are most of your clients come from? How are you getting them?
Well, two of mine were referrals. Um, I had a buddy who, last one I recently closed, I had a buddy who invited me to Vegas for a bachelor party, and I met one of his friends who lived in Wisconsin, and we started talking about real estate, and he said he wanted to move to Tennessee. He's from Tennessee, but he moved to Wisconsin for work, so he's ready to come back. And so I ended up helping him purchase a home in Springfield, and then I used a referral network to help him find an agent in Wisconsin to sell his home up there. So
Good
just
deal.
talking to people. I mean, I've been going to baby showers and my wife and talking to, just having conversations with them. I'm helping a guy find a rental right now who's going to be ready to purchase next year. So we're going to see some rentals today. And then I have another client who's trying to find a rental as well that I'm helping, who will be ready to purchase within a year. So just trying to plant those seeds and, you know, keep them watered and
And
just wait until they're ready.
and so how many months from when you started as a new agent, and now you're starting to reap all the benefits of that? How many months was that?
Well, my first deal I started in May of last year. My first deal was in August. And that person actually referred somebody from his job to me, and I helped him close early last month. Um, so Buffini really helped, really helped pave the way and show me, I guess, how you should be. I want to be relational anyways, but it really, the touch points and, providing the information like you were saying earlier, definitely really helps.
Yep.
And just talking to people, just getting out there and, having those conversations. I've been wearing my United Real Estate shirt when I go to Sam's Club or go to Walmart. People will see that and they'll, chime in. So then we'll have a conversation there. Been passing out a lot of cards. So, just trying to stay in front of folks.
It does amaze me how many times when you wear, something a real estate related, that people well, how is the market doing? You know, and it does start some conversations. I've had that happen before. So, anybody else want to share? Well, has anybody had any good wins last week or actually last 2 weeks? I haven't been around for a couple of weeks. So, anybody had any good wins they want to share?
Like
Steve,
I
were you?
said,
There you
like I
go.
said, we went under contract with one of my houses this weekend, so that was a good win for me.
Good. Congrats. Congrats. Anybody pick up any new clients over the last couple of weeks? Well, let's keep working at it. And hey, we have CMA class tomorrow. I am going to I think it was scheduled for 10 o'clock. I think I'm gonna need to move that to 11. I'll get an email out uh here shortly and make sure everybody knows. But we'll probably start it tomorrow at 11. I probably can make it at 10, but I want to just make sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and reschedule that, start at 11 tomorrow. Hopefully y'all can come and be part of that with us. It will, I think we're doing it by Zoom, and I'll get that link out to you. But anyway, anybody got any other questions or comments?
I have a question. When it comes to working with renters and this new is NAR change, will we need to get a contract signed to show them rental properties? And will that also affect the compensation that's
Well, so renters, some renters offer compensation, some don't. You know, Tricon, I think offers 500. I think America Home for Rent, they offer like 250 or something like that. Some offer 100, 150. They'll state that in there. There is no buyer rep, you know, unless you're helping them buy. There's not, I mean, there's not a renter's representation agreement that I'm aware of. Uh, if you are requiring a certain amount from your renter to pay you for showing them rent, then you may want to get that under agreement. But typically no. There's an offering out there from the rental company. It's more of a referral fee type of agreement that they're agreeing to pay you for bringing them a renter.
okay?
Are they going to continue that?
Do what, Marla?
Are they going to continue that even though with the new lawsuit? Are they going to clearly state it on the MLS for that?
I don't know, because that's not really a commission. It's more of a referral compensation. Uh, I don't know that they've considered that. It's, you know, that wasn't really part of the lawsuit
Okay, good.
because the renter, the owner, the property owner is offering this if you bring me a renter.
Okay. David, I started out as a new agent with renters and received tons of buyer clients in that way. They don't pay out in the beginning, but if you feed them, you know when their lease is up.
Yeah, very true.
Yes,
Stay in contact and
Yeah, stay in contact.
you know, there's I think the majority out there I see is $150 or something like that. Tricon does a little better at $500. But also don't forget you got I mean, you got uh what's the one? Help me out, Steve. You've done them where you get a full commission. Where you can go out there, show a house, do what?
You're talking about Home Partners?
Home Partners. Thank you. HPA. Home Partners of America. You can go out there, show that house, and Home Partners will buy it, and then your client can rent from Home Partners and you can get a full commission. It opens up a few more homes because any home that doesn't have a rental restriction that's on the MLS. So that's also a possibility, David, and then you get a full commission.
yeah, it's less about the compensation, more so just, building a relationship and then getting out there with them and letting them see how I do things. And,
Sure. Oh, I
you
mean,
know,
yeah, no, I tell the story all the time of working at Red Realty, nobody wanted to mess with the renters, and it turned into millions and millions of dollars of real estate, to today. So, just referrals, and they've bought in a couple houses, and her mother moved. I did 4 transactions with their mother. So definitely it works. Just like Marla stated, renters become buyers usually. So good. Anything else? All right, guys, as always, we are here. Cran and I are available for you if you need anything. Just let us know, and I will get the link out for last week's BOP because I don't believe it was sent out, but it was a good panel discussion, and I think y'all ought to listen to it. And then don't forget Thursday, again, BOP live, and then we will be back here next Monday. CMA class tomorrow at 11. All right. All right, guys, have a good week.
Have a great week, y'all.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.